Before you launch a single campaign, Google forces you to choose an objective. And here's the truth most brand owners never hear. Google will spend your budget no matter what because the algorithm actually doesn't care about your results. It only cares about fulfilling the objective you choose. So if you don't take control from the very beginning, Google will happily optimize for the wrong people, the wrong actions, and the wrong outcomes. I'm Shri Kanase from Euro Marketing, where we help brands just like yours scale with Google Ads and reach a 5x, 10x, even a 15x ROAS. Today, I'm walking you through every Google Ads objective and showing you exactly when to use each one. But one thing you want to keep in mind is when it comes to these objectives you see here on my screen, Google actually optimizes exactly what you are wanting to optimize for. So it's very crucial based on your ultimate business goal that you choose the appropriate objective. For example, starting off with the very first objective of sales, which is essentially what every single brand owner should be using when it comes to e-commerce. And that's simply because when it comes to sales, Google goes after a certain audience within the audience segments. Think of it like a big audience pool. And every single portion of this pool, there are people in there who are ready to buy. There's people in there who are ready to convert as leads. There's people in there who are just ready to visit the website and do nothing else. These objectives essentially train the algorithm to go after that pocket of the audience which is most suitable for your end action. So what that means is if your ultimate goal is to get sales and increase your revenue for your brand, you should be going after the first objective of sales only. This is for any types of products you sell in general. This does not include services or anything else, because after sales, the second objective, which most brand owners can essentially avoid, can essentially disregard, is leads. Now, there are certain situations, especially in the e-commerce world, where you might want to be generating leads as well. For example, one is where somebody has to call in to purchase a product from your store. They need more information about your product, so on and so forth. That's when you can start optimizing for leads. You can take them to a lead generation form on your website, a contact us form, or anything in that manner, because what Google will do in this situation is they will start to get more people who are going to convert as leads, who are going to give you a call. These are not the same people who would be reached if you were optimizing for the sales objective. There's a very clear distinguishment between both of these. Third is website traffic. Now, I'll be honest, in most situations, you want to completely avoid website traffic, and that's simply because this is a very top level arbitrary objective which most brands or most businesses in general will not benefit from. And the main reason is when you're driving people just for website traffic, what you are doing is essentially trying to find people who are window shoppers. And this is only a viable option if you want to get a lot of people through the window very, very quickly. Because the thing is, there's a conversion goal which you can optimize for. In this situation, it's purchase, going after website traffic. But this type of traffic will be low buying intent to begin with. So getting them to purchase, even with the purchase conversion tracking goal, is not going to be a viable option. You want to be going after the main objective for your business and then doubling down on it with the appropriate conversion goals. So keep things simple with website traffic. Only do it if absolutely necessary, and for whatever reason you need a large amount of data quickly, or you need to test a landing page very, very quickly. Because if you optimize for website traffic going after conversions, you'll have a solid understanding for any landing page you are testing, whether it's an appropriate landing page which you can then test with the sales objective or with the leads objective. Fourth major objective you can go after is any types of app promotion. Now, again, for e-commerce, this is pretty much irrelevant because all this will do is get more installs, engagement, and pre-registration for any types of apps you have. So if you have an external app which your audience can interact with, this would be a great option. But in 99% of the situations, just stay away from app promotions. The fifth one is awareness and consideration. In Google's own words, this essentially means you get to reach a broad audience and build interest in your product or brand. So there are three main awareness and consideration goals which you can go after with this objective. The first one is reach, where you can reach a large amount of people very, very quickly, and you can get them to either convert on your landing page, test a specific landing page, or anything along those lines. Second one is video views. This is perfect for those YouTube ads which you plan to run. This is basically a demand gen campaign which you would be running in this situation that is going after YouTube placement. This is something all brands which want to go after YouTube placement should be testing, because this is the easiest way to go on YouTube to get your video uploaded on YouTube and get some sales coming through. There's no other better option for you than the awareness and consideration, especially if you want to scale scale via YouTube ads. Third is YouTube subscriptions and engagement. This is more of a secondary YouTube objective, which you can be going after if you want people just to subscribe to your YouTube channel or to engage with your YouTube channel, get your views up, get your comments up, so on and so forth. This is ideal for those brands that want to build some engagement for their product videos on YouTube or their release videos or anything along those lines, where you need brand proof already via the comments, via the likes, views, etc. And YouTube subscriptions and engagement can be the best secondary objective you run your Google Ads campaign with, along with video views. Second to last objective you can be going after is local stores visits and promotions. This is one of the key objectives which most brand owners miss out on, especially those which already have a local store within a given country. I've seen this time and time again, local store within the United States or within whatever country they're advertising from, and just running a local store visit and promotion along with general performance max campaigns or standard shopping campaigns or even YouTube, it can do wonders because you are now tying in your online efforts to your offline efforts. And the main issue that you may face is that it's very, very difficult to accurately track all the local store visits, all the local store promotions, and how they're impacting your business as a whole. But in general, on an overview basis, this will have a net positive impact on your business if you run it along with other primary objectives like sales, leads, or even awareness and consideration campaigns when it comes to YouTube. But the last objective, which brand owners can test out on, can find scale with, is creating a campaign without any sort of guidance. Now, this is one of the most overlooked ones, but this can actually be a great entry point, especially if you have a lot of faulty data within your Google Ads account, if your conversion tracking was a mess for a very long time. And the thing is, creating a campaign without any sort of guidance basically is letting Google have its own free will, going after its own placements, going after its own audiences without any types of restrictions. And on a surface level, this might seem like a big waste of money. But the thing is, when your conversion tracking is a bit of a mess, you don't want the algorithm to be using prior data to optimize off of that data to find you more people similar to those. You want a completely clean sheet, and this is the best way to make that happen. When you create a campaign without any guidance, you have the ability to choose anything from search, performance max, demand gen, display, so on and so forth. So essentially, any other campaign you might be able to create, for example, under sales, leads, website traffic, and anything else, you can do the same thing just without any sort of guidance. But on an overview basis, here's essentially what I recommend. I always recommend that you have a very clear objective going after exactly what you want happening within your ad account. For e-commerce, this should primarily be sales and maybe a little bit of awareness and consideration campaigns for those demand gen, for YouTube placement. But in 99% of your situation, these two are more than enough. In any other situation, running a very high ticket store or for whatever reason, leads can also be something you run alongside with sales. But here's the thing, if your entire Google Ads account has been primed off of one major objective, it can actually be detrimental to your overall success and to your overall scale if you run campaigns with multiple different objectives. That's why I always say keep it to one major objective, because that's the main way your brand is truly going to grow to the very next level. But now that you understand how Google Ads objectives truly work, you're already ahead of 90% of the e-commerce brand owners running Google Ads out there. But if you're already running an e-commerce brand making over $50,000 per month and you want to scale to the next level with Google Ads and be one of the brands on our success wall, scan the QR code on your screen or click the first link in the description below to book a call directly with me, and I'll show you exactly how we can grow your brand to the next level with Google Ads.